It's terribly easy to give your power and influence away. Not just some of it, all of it. You have to decide who and what you trust in this life. And I'm a big fan of Neil Oliver, also known as the Coast Guy. And he very recently did a video where he shared a tweet that Donald Trump had made. And you know, Trump's everywhere, okay, and this isn't exactly a political video. But Trump was tweeting about a bomb raid in Yemen, I believe it was. And some reports, unverified of course, but some reports suggest that the occasion that was actually bombed was a completely innocent civilian tribal meeting that had women and children, etc., etc. You know the score. And in this tweet, one of the words that he used was the word "oops," and it shows flagrant disregard for the value of life. And to me, I don't vote partly because I know it's all a complete freak show pantomime of people who have already been selected, and we have, you know, the polling places and voting stations to give the illusion that we actually have a free choice in our elections. But of course we don't. It's obviously complete bullshit. And eventually, that whether you're already corrupted or soon to be corrupted as soon as you have your hands on the reins of power, we all know that it's just a complete shit show of people completely out for what they can get. Because, I mean, let's face it, if you desire any position in government where you've got that much power and influence over vast swathes of people, you're not going to be a normal person, and you're likely to be an incredibly perverse and weird person, frankly. And the reason that politicians have power is because I think that in the collective subconscious of the vast majority of people that we're not really aware of, but I think we can all feel that there is a network, that we are all linked as human beings, that we give credence and value and power over to these people. It's not actually a passive thing. People give energy all the time, and for bizarre reasons, unbeknownst to myself and many of us growing in number, that people really do value some of the people who clearly are acting out of resentment, out of a desire to curtail people and shrink them and make them minute. Politics, if you really think about it for a few minutes, it's a really bizarre thing. And we seem to have a really gross and defective group of people who are at the helm. It's weird. It's just weird. And people say, well, the thing is, Martin, you don't vote, so you can't have a say, you don't count. And it's like, well, excuse me, I'm just going to go to the polling place and decide for myself which person's going to rape me next, and which person's going to steal from me, and which person is going to make life more difficult and more chaotic. There are other solutions, and for thousands of years we've been trying to figure out the best way of doing it. And the truth is, we are enormous in number now. There are so many of us, and he who shouts loudest tends to pick up the influence. That's and I don't think it's ever been so true as now, because there are millions of people in each country, and it's so huge that I think we abdicate the responsibility of looking after it to somebody else, which of course they're not going to be able to do. But the people that you're going to place your faith in are the worst possible people that you can imagine, because they're, well, seemingly all of them tend to be money grabbing, power grabbing psychopaths. There don't seem to be any good people involved anymore. But obviously my position, I advocate for it's an old-fashioned phrase now, a bit cliched, but for thinking outside of the box and thinking, well, we've tried many different systems. What new things can we actually come up with to actually govern ourselves? And I think that's becoming more and more necessary. And some people will say, oh, buy gold and buy farmland, and some people will say, well, buy Bitcoin and hodl, and some people will just say, oh, well, we can get the Labour government out and we can get a Conservative government in again. And we've got all of these different so-called options. But I honestly believe, and it might sound a little bit flimsy, but I honestly believe that even if you have absolutely no idea what form the next solution will take, I think even just acknowledging the fact that there probably is another way of doing this, I think that honestly gets the juices flowing. And if you are the one to be proactive with your nearest and dearest people that you know, and to say, well, are you happy with how things are currently running? And most people will say, no, it's not really working. If you can be the person to be the fire starter, twisted fire starter, and then get other people's juices flowing, then maybe it won't be necessary to put your faith in somebody else to sort it out. Maybe, my dear friends, we can start to be the change that we want to see in the world.